Welcome into the In the Money podcast for Saturday, April 30th. I'm Tom Leach, along with Jim Goodman, Keeneland's Director of Mutuals and Simulcasting. Opening night at Churchill Downs, and we were going to take a look at the late pick 4, but actually we're going to make it a pick 5 because the 7th race is the stakes race, the William Walker. Got a small field, but we both want to single a horse in there, so might as well make it a pick 5.
Yeah, it might pay a little bit better. Obviously, you take a chance on that, but there's always a good side. If you blow it on the first leg of pick 5, you can come back and play the pick 4, just double your money.
There you go.
The 7th race is the William Walker, and I think that Bob Baffert chips in Toes on Ice, which was on the Derby Trail for a while. The Los Al Futurity last year, the Grade 1 got beat by a length and a quarter to More Spirit, so More Spirit is probably going to be the 4th or 5th choice in the Derby. And then he had some issues. He ran once at Oaklawn, and then they didn't run very well in the Smarty Jones, and this is his first time back. But on his numbers, he towers over this field and on back class. So I think the William Walker, I am going to single Toes on Ice, the 4 horse, and that will be the start of our modified pick 5. Who did you like there?
Yeah, I'm the same one with you, Toes on Ice. I can't go past him, so I'll just single that, and we can make it into a pick 5 play. So let's move on to the 8th race, which is on the turf. And the thing here is supposed to be a lot of rain overnight on Friday into Saturday, and they're going to want to keep the turf course in good shape since it's the start of their meet. So I will give you 2 versions of this. If they come off the turf, which I think they will, I like Riddler for Pletcher. Pedigree is all about dirt, and this horse is coming off a win on the turf, but I think the pedigree says this horse should be fine on the dirt, even though he ran a better race on the grass. And then the others, I would like Conquest Bespoke, Silver Dagger, and Blue Wings. Now, if they stay on the turf, I would move Riddler down, and the horse that I would like more would be Conquest Bespoke, and then the 2 Orange Grove and the 1 Approved Message would be my next 2 choices. But I think it's coming off the turf, so I will say Riddler. And then since you pick 5, you might not know if it's on or off. Well, probably will, but just in case, I'll use all of those horses I've mentioned in the pick 5 ticket. How about you?
I would use a number of horses in here. I like Riddler either way. And I thought the turf race last time at Gulfstream, and we saw a trend at Keeneland that the Gulfstream horses on the turf really ran well at Keeneland. They've also shipped well to New York. So I think the spring Gulfstream meet, the turf horses have done well wherever they've gone. So I like Riddler either way. I think he does fit if it comes off the turf. But I'm going to go deep here. I'm going to single at the end of my pick 5. So I would go 6 deep here. I would use Orange Grove, the 2, Riddler, the 3. I would use Conquest Bespoke, the horse that you like for Le Peru and Cassie, Blue Wings, the 6, and also the 9 horse, Silver Dagger, with Romans and Alvarado. That last race at Gulfstream as well was an 86 buyer, so another horse coming out of Gulfstream. You also look at this race, there are a number of horses. Approve This Message is also one I would add because it's got 2 wins. I like horses that have 2 wins instead of 1. They meet the conditions, but they never won a race other than maiden, claiming, or starter, or have never won 2 races. So Silver Dagger and Approve This Message both have 2. So I would use 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 9 here for six horses.
All right, Jim, move to the 9th race on the Saturday night card at Churchill. Who do you like?
9th race, and again, I'm saving my single for the last, so I'm going to spread here. And Churchill has a nice little card on Saturday night, and it's a good opening day card. Actually, I like to See You at the Disco best here. The 1 horse off of great work at Keeneland, 47-4, breezing on April 8th, and came back and ran on the 13th and got beat by Alice Rosie at Keeneland at 1:16. Shortens up to a mile here. Might be a little better distance for her. And so See You at Disco would be my top pick, but I also use Weekend Wish, the 2. I would use the 4 Fervent and 5 Misty Journey. So I would go 4 deep in here with See You at the Disco, my top pick.
I'm going to single Misty Journey, and it's not because I'm just think that Misty Journey is a cinch. I just want to use more horses in other races, so I had to keep the ticket affordable. So I like Misty Journey off the big buyer improvement last time, and that was the 2nd start for this barn, the Richard barn. And Lannery's their go-to rider, so you got that combination. And I think this barn's due to heat up coming off their Oaklawn meet. So I like Misty Journey in here. Though the other ones I like, Fervent you mentioned, Sugar Cube the 6, Trick My Ride the 8, I like those two. But I'm going to single Misty Journey for our multi-race wager ticket. 10th race, I thought there were 3 horses in here that I focused in on. Miss 713 caught a tough field last time. I like the extra experience this one has for Foley. But Ian Wilkes usually heats up at Churchill, and Toasted the 3 has made its debut at Tampa. Ian never wins first time out, and now that was a deep track coming off that track to Churchill. I think that one improves, and then High Heeled Girl, the other one I like in there. And I like all those really about equally.
I agree with those that you liked, but I would also include Ben Colebrook's first-time starter in Northern Michigan, the one horse for Alvarado. Had a nice work first out of 29 on April 16th, and then came back and kind of a maintenance work on April 24th. So I really like the pattern for Colebrook. I would use the 1 Northern Michigan, the 2 War Poppy for Bertie Flint, and the 3 Toasted or Wilkes. Wilkes always runs better, like you say, a second time back. And this horse caught a sloppy track at Tampa, and they still bet her down to 3-1, and that's very unusual for a Wilkes first-time starter. So second time out, she's going to be better. And High Heel Girl has been off since August of 15, but ran really well at Woodbine. So you got to put her in there with Mark Cassidy. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 6 in here.
And you said you were going to single in the last race, so I'm going deep in here. I'm intrigued to see who you're singling. Who is it?
I'm going to single Full Scope, the 1 horse for Alvarado and Brendan Wallace. I thought the race at Keeneland sets him up very well for this race. I like the buyer progression. It's been very steady. And I don't see anything else in here that has moved forward. I really didn't like anything else in here, so I'm intrigued to see who you do like. I think Full Scope is a standout in here and probably will go off at 3-5 to 4-5. So I'm going to end my pick 5 with a single. So my pick 5 ticket will start out with the 4 horse in the first leg, and then 6 horses in the second leg, the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 9, with 1, 2, 4, 5, with 1, 2, 3, 6. So that's 6 times 4 times 4 is 96 times 50 cents is $48, singling on the beginning and the end. So hopefully that will get you a nice start to the Churchill meet.
There were a couple of horses that I thought caught some tough fields. The 3 Rodican at 8-1 out at Oaklawn. There were a couple of horses, maybe more, that came out of races that this horse competed in that went on to the Arkansas Derby, and I like the turn back from longer distance to 7 furlongs. The other one's Nanosecond for Catalano, who I think will heat up here soon too, and I think he caught in a couple of dirt races tough fields. So I think both of those might have a little bit of sneaky form. So I wanted both of those, Full Scope, 100 Years the 5, American Roma the 8, and Handiwork the 9. And Paul McGee rarely wins at Keeneland, but usually seems to have his horses primed to do their best at Churchill, at his home track. So the 9 intrigues me as well. So I'm going actually 6 deep in there and going to try to beat the favorite and catch a price. So my singles back in the 9th race, the 5, and that's I wanted to go deep in the first and the last leg, so that's why I had to single Misty Journey, and then of course we both going to single Toes on Ice to start the pick 5 if you want. Best of luck with your wagers, and next week of course we'll be doing podcasts for Friday and Saturday for Oaks and Derby Day. For Jim Goodman, I'm Tom Leach, and that is the End of Money Podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.